Hello guys, this is Lady Loser again. Today I'm going to react to this video of a bisexual woman saying what's her experience like dating women and how it can make her relate to heterosexual men. So that sounds very interesting. I only watched the first videos of the movie and oh my goodness, I only watched the first minutes of the video as in the middle of my previous recording there was a problem, so I'm recording it again. Right, so I'm rambling. Let's start it at once.
So as you may remember, I came out as bisexual last year, and since then I have been dating women. And what I found very fascinating is that the more I date women, the more I find myself understanding heterosexual men. Let me explain. Exhibit A. I was on a first date with a girl, who asked me out, by the way, this is relevant, because when the check came, she never once made a move to pay. Not even like the fake, let me reach for my purse move. And though I don't mind paying on a date, part of me felt like, the offer would have been nice. I was also a little taken aback that she didn't even say thank you. And I never heard from her again. It really made me feel like she just asked me out so she could have a free dinner. And the moment I thought that, I was like, oh my God, I sound like all of my...
Well, yeah, that really does sound like an a-hole version of a woman. So let's see what else she has to say.
Guy friends right now. And my argument against why guys should pay for dates has always been like, look, girls take hours to get ready. Our investment is looking really nice for you. Makeup, clothes, that costs money too. But we were both girls in this situation. We both took hours to get ready, so I definitely felt slighted. Exhibit B. On another date, I went back.
Oh god, she's right about that. So right, I guess what you guys, if there's somebody watching, would like to know is what's my view as an F girl here. Maybe I can speak the word already, right? It's the video is probably let me see, 1 minute long. Can I say the F word? So yeah, you guys know what I mean, and what's my view on that. So basically, so yeah, I think she's right when she says that us women spend more money in, aesthetics, cosmetics to look good, for ourselves and for other people as well. There are so many benefits in being pretty, let's put it in simple words like that, like showing yourself a certain way in society. And that takes a lot of money, of course. And men usually don't really have to spend too much money on that, even though cosmetics and that kind of thing is also becoming more popular among men as well. But yeah, women usually spend much more money on that than men. But to me, as an F word, I think the main reason why I don't think that. I think it really depends, to be honest, whether a man should pay everything, should pay like for the whole date or not. So for me to clarify that, I think, for example, if the man makes much more money than the woman that he's trying to date or that he's dating makes, then I think it would be just fair if he pays for the whole thing, So more like pay the proportional amount type of person. But I do agree, like, of course, courtesy is always appreciated. If you go out with someone, you should not be expecting for them to pay it all. And to put it in simple words, I think the problem for both women and men, regardless of political side, regardless of anything, the problem is the fucking narcissists. So it's basically the people that go and do that with the purpose of taking advantage of the other person. So basically, women that do that just take advantage of the men that go with that intention, and the men that go with the intention of, oh my goodness, I paid a dinner for you. Are you not having sex with me? Which, in case any of you who's watching thinks it's a fair exchange, it's not, right? It's not. It's just not. So if you think like nobody owes anything because you paid them a sandwich, or if you pay them, even if you pay them a fancy dinner, a woman does not owe you her body for you doing that, So I think people should be aware of that before going to dates. All right, so yeah, that's what I have to say about this first situation. Let's see what's the second one that she's about to tell.
To a girl's house, and I ended up making friends with her cat. That's not a pun. I'm talking about her literal, actual animal. And she said, "Wow, my cat never likes anyone. I better go out and buy a wedding dress." And again, I felt like I got some serious perspective. I have been guilty of making these kinds of jokes on dates with men. I never really thought anything of it. I was just being silly. But then when I was on the receiving end of it, I suddenly understood the panic. And finally, Exhibit C. One girl invited me back into her house, and her specific words were, "Do you..."
Right, so before she begins with that one, and I'll have to bring the video a little bit back to watch it again. So yeah, that's kind of creepy, right? Creepy behavior. So I think this type of behavior goes both ways, so creepy, just creepy people that try to passive aggressively force you into a relationship, or and I think when people do that, because I think always, right, people, like, things are complex, people are complex, not everybody's the same, there are different people and different personalities out there. And the issue is always like when a person is trying to take advantage of the others, or is doing something with a bad intent. And in this case, a comment like that, I think there are people who are not necessarily bad people, who do not necessarily have bad intents, that make those comments just because they lack social skills, because they lack the right words. Perhaps in their heads it would sound like something not innocent, but like something harmless, and then again, there are people that use it passive aggressively, with an intention of, I don't know, of a weird way to try to convince the other person to do something. And yeah, as you guys can see, it just doesn't work, right? It doesn't. You cannot force somebody to do something that they don't want to, with comments, with weird and creepy comments like that, right? And yeah, I'm not perfect. I have made awkward comments before. I cannot remember like an example now, but I am a woman that struggles with certain types of situations. Yeah, but I have never done like a comment with bad intent, So I think it's the key thing in these types of situations is to try to find out if the person has a bad intent or not when they're saying stuff like that, And it's difficult. Usually you will need like more interactions to know what the person's intentions are. It's not something that you can know right away. So yeah, let's see what's the next situation like.
Exhibit C. One girl invited me back into her house, and her specific words were, "Do you want to come in and make out?" Obviously, I'm like, "Yeah, you're really pretty. I want to press my face to yours." But then when we got there, we both just sat on the couch, and she talked till like 3 a.m. And I was like, "Yo, girl, I gotta wake up at like 6 a.m. I was told there would be kisses here. There are no kisses." And like, look, I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like, I don't mind talking. I love talking. But she could have said, "Do you want to come in and just talk?" And I would have had totally different expectations for the evening. Finally I started falling asleep, and I was like, "Hey, I gotta go." And I gave her one kiss and left. And I felt sad that the amount of kisses promised did not equal the amount of kisses delivered. And once again, I felt like a dude who was upset that I did not receive the expected physical kisses I was promised. And I wanted to talk about this because I felt like this has really been expanding my perspective when it comes to dating. I finally understand a lot of the complaints complaints my male friends have about dating that I admit I would usually dismiss. But now I really get it when they say, dating is just so expensive, man.
Sometimes I feel like a girl doesn't even like me for me. She just wants, like, a boyfriend.
I wish it were more socially expected to go Dutch on the first few dates, but you're like a jerk if you even suggest it. And any experience that expands your compassion and understanding is one that I think is worthy of sharing. So what about you? Have you had any experiences that have shifted your viewpoint dramatically? Let me know. I'm Anna Akana, and thank you to
All right. So yeah, about that last experience. She didn't give more details about like how the girl that she was seeing promised her, like the kisses and stuff like that. But yeah, if a person like explicitly tells you that's explicitly promises you that there will be like an intimate relationship, that you're going to hook up, whatever. And then that doesn't happen. That definitely is like a really frustrating thing. I think I'm struggling to wrap my mind around this, because this kind of thing, especially when it comes to intimate encounters, right? There is so much that is unsaid. There is so much like social conventions and body language that you have to understand in order to be sure or to not be sure if a person wants something with you or not. So again, it's something very complex. It's something that's not so simple to analyze, because if you ask too explicitly, oh hey, let's fuck, people are going to think that you're creepy, right? So there's all of these, social conventions, these things that you have to do indirectly to show that you are sexually interested in a person, and yeah, sometimes that can go wrong. So I am a firm believer in a more open communication, so that these types of things don't happen. And but as I said, things are complex, and sometimes there will be situations like that where the other person doesn't get what they want. And again, I think I'm above 30, as you guys know, so people around my age bracket are adults and should act like adults. So, as grown people, we are supposed to know how to deal with frustration and how to, express feelings and express wishes in a healthy way. And I think that's a lot of what is missing these days. I think most people, or I don't know if most people, but like many people, regardless of politics, of whatever they believe in, many people expect others, or expect the people that they are trying to have a relationship with, or even people that they already have relationships with, be it like friendship or love, or a more intimate relationship, regardless of the type of relationship. I think that many people expect the other person to know what you want, and usually that's that other people have their own view of the world. So that's why it's important to communicate better, so that you are aligned. I really don't like this word aligned, but it just came to my mind now. But so that the communication is not, so that both of you know what each other means and wants. So I guess that's my take on that second part. That's very interesting to know, from a woman dating other woman, and yeah, guys. So just stay away from the narcs, and I think that's what all of us should be doing, right? And the same way that we have that we must protect ourselves from other people's bad intents. We also have to watch out for ourselves and the way that we treat other people. I am a huge believer in like treat others the way that you would like to be treated, but also don't let others take advantage of you, right? So, as I said, we're all adults. We should know how to behave and how to be functional and healthy adults in this life. So yeah, I think that's what I have to say about this video. It was very fun to watch, and yeah, all right, if there's somebody watching until now, thanks for being here, and see you next time.